Hi, it's Crazy Monkey here. Alright, so this is part 2 of the blog. I just want to make this quick because my battery's almost dead. I'm going to show you some house prices in middle America versus like big cities like San Francisco and Seattle. I'm going to show you the massive difference in house prices. Let me just show you this real quick. Alright, so here's our first house in a very liberal left-wing city where Hillary got 90% of the vote. This is all realtor.com. I'm just going to go through this real quick. So this is in Compton, California. Yeah, that's right. Compton, California. There it is right there. In Compton, California. This is like 10 miles south of LA. In the notorious Compton, California. This is $530,000. $530,000 is 2,000 square feet in Compton, California. LA is an absolute ripoff. You know, a small house in a nice part of LA is $1 million. A house in Compton is $500,000. $500,000 for a house in Compton. It's a joke. It's a freaking joke. Very liberal, very leftist, very Democrat Party. You know, Compton, Hillary got 90% of the vote, and this is the price. San Francisco, for $430,000, you don't even get a house in San Francisco. You get a micro studio. These are micro studios, folks. This is $435,000. It's a micro studio. This one is 265 square feet in San Francisco. This is a micro studio for $440,000. This is another 330 square foot micro studio in San Francisco for $450,000. This is all San Francisco. All right, another extremely leftist place, extremely left-wing, extremely socialist, and those are the prices. And these are micro studios. These aren't houses. These aren't even traditional condos. These are tiny little micro studio prison cell apartments. All right, moving on along, I'm going to show you Seattle. Let me try to find Seattle. This is actually Washington, D.C., another very leftist place. I mean, obviously not as leftist now because of Trump getting elected, but historically Washington, D.C. is extremely left-wing, extremely socialist, big government, that's their capital. 400,600 square feet, that's Washington, D.C. Let me try to find the one in Seattle. Oh, here it is. This is what you get in the techie city of Seattle for $1 million. It's a respectable condo. You know, it's in a skyscraper. It's 1,300 square feet, but give me a break, $1 million. 1,300 square feet. 1,300 square feet for $1 million. Are you joking me? $1 million. This is what Seattle's turned into. This is what Seattle has turned into, an absolute joke of a city. Absolute joke. Now you go to other places. Now this isn't necessarily, this is in Chicago. This is a condo on the north side of Chicago. It's not exactly a conservative area. I mean, it's obviously liberal there as well, but it's more middle America and it's more moderate liberal. It's not like extreme socialist liberal. It's more moderate liberal. And this is $90,000 in Chicago, a very nice condo. And I just want to tell you real quick, I actually lived in this building. I lived in this building in a condo for like $50,000 back when I was like 20 years old. I actually lived in this building. I'm going to show it to you real quick. So this is the building right here. So it's a very nice, respectable building on the north side of Chicago. It's a very nice neighborhood called Rogers Park. And their one-bedroom units are like 800 square feet, and they're just under 100,000. So for all these yuppies in Seattle and San Francisco that say condos can't be 100 grand, they're lying. They're lying. I mean, you go to middle America, you get a condo for 100 grand easily. Even in nice places like Chicago, I mean, even in fairly nice, trendy areas, you can get a condo for 100 grand. You know, Seattle, San Francisco, San Jose have been totally destroyed by leftism, left-wing liberals, and they've also been destroyed by the techies. The techies and the left-wing liberals and the socialists have totally destroyed those three cities. So moving right along, let me show you another one. Here's in Atlanta, Georgia. You say you can't buy a skyscraper, apartment in a skyscraper. Here we got, it's just under 700 square feet. I don't know why this camera is doing this. It's supposed to be on auto zoom, but it's not. It's just under 700 square feet in a skyscraper, and it's 125,000. So, you know, you'll hear all these techies, all these liberals, all these leftists in the socialist cities of San Francisco, Seattle, San Jose saying, oh, you can't have a one-bedroom apartment, I mean a one-bedroom condo in a skyscraper for 100,000, and here we have one, 125,000 for a one-bedroom condo in a skyscraper in Atlanta, Georgia. This is Atlanta, Georgia. All right. So let me just go through these real quick. I showed you this one. 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 All right. So here's Ogden, Utah. I'll probably be moving there pretty soon. So this is a small house for 125,000. It's not that great. It's just, it's decent though. I mean, the inside looks nice. It's got a fireplace, you know, decent rooms. Small house, $125,000. Ultra low property tax, under $1,000 a year. Under $1,000 a year. You go to San Francisco, you go to Seattle, and you get a small little place and you pay $1 million, your property tax is upwards $10,000. In Seattle, San Francisco, you would pay a $10,000 property tax bill on a one-bedroom condo. You would pay a $10,000 property tax bill on a small house. And the price would be $1 million in Seattle, San Francisco, San Jose. You would pay $1 million for a small house, small condo. You would pay $10,000 in property tax. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Liberalism is sick. The liberals are getting rich off making the house prices sky high. The liberals make the house prices sky high, and then they charge $10,000 property tax. You go to conservative America, you get a house for $100,000, $200,000, and you pay $1,000 or $2,000 property tax. They don't get that rich off of $1,000 or $2,000 property tax, but they get $10,000 property tax. The liberals get rich, and that's why they make the house prices sky high. This house right here has a property tax of under $1,000. I believe it's under $1,000 for the property tax per year. San Francisco, this house would have a property tax of $10,000. Seattle, this house would have a property tax of $10,000. All right, that's the reality, folks. Liberals make the house prices sky high because it gives them a voting base, and it also gives them tons and tons of property tax revenue. Here's in Dallas, Texas. Here's a small house for $150,000. It's very nice, cute little small house for $150,000 in Dallas, a more conservative area. Here in Anchorage, Alaska, this is a small house in Anchorage, Alaska for under $173,000. It's a small house in Anchorage, Alaska, right next to the mountains. You literally walk outside, you're like 1 block from mountain wilderness.